It is undoubtedly a time in history where we struggle with the concept of purpose. And I see this constantly as a teacher, as a member of my community. Purpose is a dying reality. So many people wake up, and if you were to ask them what their purpose is, they would probably think for a second and then just maybe list the tasks that they have to do to stay alive, or the tasks that they have to do as an obligation to their family. They would not really maybe have a whole lot of heart behind it, a whole lot of pride behind it. It would simply be, yeah, this is kind of what I do. And there'd be that look in their eyes of, is this it? Is this my purpose? I think that's where a lot of people are at today, is just they struggle to know, what is their purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? And even as Christian men, where our identity has been restored through the holy waters of baptism, and we've been grafted into Christ and brought into the fellowship of all the saints, we still sometimes wonder, why do I feel like I lack purpose? Why do I feel like I lack motivation and desire to do certain things? And why do I feel like the things that I'm doing are not that fulfilling? And this is really a video just to say, I think as a man, I'm speaking to other men. That's the large demographic of my channel, is other men. If you're a woman watching, then you can watch this and relay this information to a man you know in your life. And if you're a man watching, listen up. I think one of the things that our culture has slowly moved away from, that is actually very, very important to being a man, is working with your hands. This, I think, is part of why even Christian men struggle with the idea of purpose, is because the work that they are doing is very limited in its physicality, in the movement from a point A to a point B, in a very linear progression where you can see the work of your hands and be proud of that work and delight in that work. The sense of accomplishment found in something like that, I think, is placed in us because it's a very tangible way in which we feel and can see our participation in the image of God as creator. And now, in a kind of society where that kind of work has been broken down, where you're just a cog in a machine, where you could go to work day in, day out, day in, day out, and you're sitting at a computer typing away. And at the end of the year, you really don't know where your little piece of work has fit into the big picture. How in the world is a man going to feel a sense of purpose, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of fulfillment doing something like that? I don't think you will. I think it's going to be very hard to find purpose and a sense of fulfillment in something like that. We want to be able to see that what we're working on has a telos, and we want to see what that finished product looks like. We want to know that what we're doing matters. And so my encouragement for the men watching this is something that I have recognized in myself. I'm making this video because I've recognized it in myself, and I'm trying to make changes to stop that from happening, okay? If you are working a job and you're like, I do feel like that cog in the machine, but this is what I need to do to make money for my family, and that's a really strong drive for me, and that I find purpose in doing that, but I really don't feel fulfillment in the work I'm doing. My encouragement is not quit your job, find something, go chop logs somewhere, but it's to find something to do that does involve working with your hands. You know, whether that be, pulling cars into your garage and working on the cars, getting underneath the cars, changing the oil, repairing, like whatever. Okay. For me personally, I was thinking I need to work with my hands. I've got to do that. I have to do that. I picked up wood carving. I bought a wood carving kit. I've never done it before. I'm going to start trying to see if I can take classes on carving, and specifically maybe iconography, to make it even more purposeful and fulfilling. But it's like, there's something that I can do that's tangible, that's working with my hands, that I can do that's productive in my downtime. What do we do when we get home from work? We pull out our phones, we scroll, we put them away, we lay down, we stare at the ceiling restlessly, we fall asleep, we get a terrible sleep because we were looking at our phones. We wake up and we wonder, why didn't my weekend feel restful? Maybe if we prioritize doing things that we were designed as men to do, like working with our hands, and we found something purposeful like that, we wouldn't feel so terrible all the time. You know, my father, he has a garden in the summer. He's a teacher. In the summer, he gardens. It's awesome. He's out there. He's in the dirt. He's mixing mud. He's churning. He's planting seeds. He's watering. It's with his hands. He gets to bring in the harvest. He feeds his family with it. It's very masculine. I'm carving wood. I'm making things with my hands. I'm using knives, right? There's something masculine about that. There's something very natural about it. And I think we were created for something like that. And I think that our society, in the industrial revolutionizing of society, where the family and the work that was done, where the father worked with his hands to feed his family in conjunction with his community and his neighbors, to now just cogs in a machine helping this corporate reality where you don't know where your food comes from, you don't know what your work is accomplishing exactly, you just know that you're getting a paycheck. It's led to some of the purposelessness that we feel. And the way to solve that, I think, is if you're not working a job where you can do that, find something in the time when you're not working that you can do with your hands. Put the screen away. Stop binge watching YouTube videos. Pull something out that actually has a point A and a point B that you can watch movement towards and see brought to fruition. And I believe that not only will you have greater satisfaction and happiness in your downtime, but you will also feel a greater sense of purpose as a man. So men, we were created to work with our hands. Don't let that be squandered by society. Find a way to use your hands and to keep working hard.